Here are 10 signs of intelligence that people mistake for rudeness. Number 10, not laughing at obvious jokes. Yeah, you've been there. Everyone's cracking up at some recycled one-liner and you're just sitting there like, really? People might think you're being rude or that you don't have a sense of humor. But the truth is, you already solved the joke halfway through the setup. Your brain runs so fast, the punchline feels old before it even lands. It's not that you hate jokes, you just need comedy with some bite. Twists, clever wordplay, unexpected connections. That's what actually surprises you. While everyone else is wheezing over the same chicken crossing the road routine, you're waiting for humor that doesn't play out like a rerun. So if you're the only one not laughing, it's not because you're cold, it's because your brain was already 3 steps ahead. Number 9, not remembering faces or names in small talk circles. Ever had someone look offended because you blanked on their name? Again, they think you're rude, maybe even arrogant, like you didn't care enough to remember. But here's the secret. It's not that your brain doesn't care. It's that your brain is busy doing something else. Highly intelligent people often prioritize patterns, ideas, and big picture concepts over trivial labels. Your mind is wired to lock in why someone matters, what they said, the idea they sparked, the way they connected dots, instead of wasting storage space on Steve from HR who likes golf. Think of it like a computer with limited RAM. You're not saving low-res files. You're keeping the high-value stuff. Number 8, switching topics too fast. You've probably done this. 1 minute you're talking about coffee, and the next you're deep into black holes, string theory, or some random what-if scenario. To other people, it looks scatterbrained, even rude, like you can't stay on topic. But what's really happening is your brain is making connections at lightning speed. For you, the leap from "this coffee is hot" to "heat is energy, energy is matter, matter is particles. Let's talk quantum physics" feels obvious. To everyone else, it feels like you just hijacked the conversation. That's not chaos. It's associative thinking. Your mind is wired like a high-speed rail system, linking distant ideas in seconds while most people are still stuck in traffic. Number 7, staying silent in groups. You've been in that meeting or group chat where everyone's tossing out half-baked ideas like confetti. Meanwhile, you barely say a word, and people assume you're shy, arrogant, or just not paying attention. But the truth? You're probably the only one actually paying attention. Smart people often choose silence not because they have nothing to add, but because they're processing everything. You're connecting dots, spotting flaws, and waiting for the right moment to drop the one idea that actually matters. While others are playing verbal ping pong, you're running the full simulation in your head. And let's be honest, you've learned that speaking up too much can backfire. Nobody likes the know-it-all who chimes in every 5 seconds, so you pick your moments carefully. When you finally do speak, it lands harder because it's thought out, not rushed. What people mistake for arrogance is really strategy. Less noise, more precision. Number 6, overthinking simple decisions. You've probably been there, standing in front of a menu way too long while the person behind you is ready to scream. To them, you look indecisive, maybe even rude for holding up the line. But what's really happening is analysis paralysis. Smart brains don't just see coffee or tea. They see caffeine levels, sleep cycles, sugar ratios, long-term health impacts, and whether oat milk pairs better with dark roast on a rainy Tuesday. Your brain runs every possible scenario, which is great for solving big problems, but overkill when you're just ordering lunch. To others, it looks like stalling. But in reality, it's your intelligence refusing to take shortcuts, even on tiny choices. Sure, it might annoy people waiting behind you, but that same overthinking is the reason you're the one who spots risks, avoids mistakes, and solves problems others miss. It's not hesitation, it's precision. Number 5, ignoring messages or replies. Your phone lights up, someone's waiting for a reply, and nothing. Hours go by, maybe even days. To other people, it looks arrogant, like you think you're too important to answer. But if you're the one doing it, you know the truth. Your brain doesn't want to fire off a lazy half response. You want to craft the right one. Highly intelligent people often delay replying because they're weighing their words, predicting how the other person will interpret them, or simply protecting their focus. Constant notifications feel like tiny ambushes, and when you're deep in thought, those pings can derail an entire mental train. So yeah, sometimes you ghost people, but not out of disrespect. To others, it feels rude. To you, it's energy management. You're not ignoring people. You're prioritizing quality over speed, depth over noise. And honestly, most of the world could use a little more of that. Number 4, finishing tasks alone instead of collaborating. You've probably been in a group project where everyone wants to brainstorm together. To them, teamwork is bonding. To you, it feels like wading through molasses. While others see your solo approach as antisocial or rude, you know it's actually about efficiency. Highly intelligent people often realize that collaboration can slow things down. Endless side conversations, power struggles, and let's schedule another meeting nonsense. Sometimes it's faster, cleaner, and smarter to just do it yourself. Your brain already sees the full path from start to finish, so waiting for everyone else to catch up feels like putting a Ferrari in a traffic jam. To outsiders, it looks like you're rejecting the group. In reality, you're protecting time, quality, and sanity. You're not being difficult, you're being effective. The end result? The project gets done faster, better, and with fewer headaches. Number 3, refusing to fake interest. Someone's talking about their dog's Halloween costume or their third cousin's vacation slideshow, and you just can't. Everyone else nods politely, but you're not even trying to fake it. To others, that looks rude, even disrespectful. But in reality, it's honesty. Smart people know that pretending to care burns more energy than it's worth. Your brain craves depth and real conversation, not endless filler about weather apps or office gossip. And you know what? You'd rather sit in silence than waste mental bandwidth on a fake smile. It doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're selective. Your attention is valuable, and you reserve it for things that matter. Ideas, insights, real connections. So the next time someone says you look bored, don't sweat it. You're not being rude. You're just refusing to hand out free enthusiasm where it's not earned. Number 2, challenging authority or traditions. You've probably been that person at school, work, or even at family dinner who asks, "But why do we do it like that?" And instantly, people think you're being rebellious, difficult, maybe even disrespectful. But what you're really doing is the thing smart people do best: questioning. Intelligent minds aren't wired to just accept because that's the way it's always been. You want logic, reason, proof. Whether it's company policies, cultural traditions, or grandma's lucky salt ritual, your brain can't help poking at the why. To others, it looks like you're stirring the pot. To you, it's just curiosity refusing to be silenced. And let's face it, without people like you, we'd still think the earth was flat and doctors would still be prescribing leeches. So, the next time someone rolls their eyes when you challenge the rules, remember, what looks like defiance is actually progress in motion. And hey, quick pause before we hit number 1. If you've ever been called rude just for asking smart questions, I want to know, what's the most unfair time someone judged you for being curious or honest? Drop it in the comments. I'll be checking them out. And if you're nodding along to these signs thinking, yep, that's me, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Number 1, pointing out flaws in popular ideas. You've been in that conversation where everyone's hyped about the next big thing, a new app, a trend, a business idea. Everyone's nodding along, and then you're the one who says, yeah, but what about this problem? Suddenly, you're the buzzkill. People think you're negative or rude for poking holes in the fun. But here's what's really happening. Your brain is running quality control while everyone else is still drinking the Kool-Aid. Highly intelligent people can't turn off their critical thinking. You're wired to spot weak points, contradictions, and hidden downsides, even in things that sound great on the surface. Sure, it might kill the mood, but it also saves people from chasing dumb ideas off a cliff. Pointing out flaws isn't negativity, it's accuracy. And while others might roll their eyes in the moment, later they'll realize the rude person was actually the only one seeing clearly.